So Lil Uzi was performing at Summer Smash, and on stage, he said this about X.
I'm not gonna lie, music was a little bit different around that time, and different in a good way. That was like my only competition. Every time I dropped, he dropped, or every time he dropped, I dropped. And he either go #1 or I go #1. Either way it was gonna go, one of us was gonna turn it up. So I think you should play some XXX shit.
Now, this is on the 4-year anniversary of X passing away, and so that's why he was saying it was a special day. And I kind of agree with what he said here, because I've always compared X's energy with Uzi's energy. Their music's not too similar at all, really, but their energy was the same, and the amount of hype they had when they first came up was similar as well. I remember in 2016, Uzi's hype was insane as fuck. And then the next year in 2017, X's energy was insane. The whole hype behind both of these two artists as a whole was very, very, very high. He talks about going #1. I don't think either one of them had a #1 hit. I think he's talking about SoundCloud specifically, which I could see them battling back in the day for #1 on SoundCloud charts. And I do really think that Uzi and X are on the SoundCloud Rushmore of people that are SoundCloud kings in terms of transitioning to becoming a mainstream superstar. They have to be up there. Now, it's very hard to narrow that list down. I've talked about this in the past. There's so many influential artists that came from the SoundCloud era, so it's hard to even pick who are the goats of it. But I mean, I think it's fair to say that X and Uzi are definitely on that list. I mean, if you disagree with that, I don't know what to tell you. You're delusional. I mean, X was really only popping for like 18 months, I believe, just like Juice WRLD, and kind of Peep too. Weird, all these artists had like a year and a half run before passing away. Just shows how good their art was. Uzi was comparing himself to X when X was just now getting out of jail in March of 2017. So it's crazy to see that X's popularity exploded that quickly for Uzi to compare himself and not really even tell the public. I don't think Uzi has ever expressed he thinks X was his only competition. Obviously, there was definitely other artists that were technically Uzi's competition, but it all depends on the way you look at it. Strictly by numbers in 2016, 2017, there isn't a lot of artists that are above Uzi. But obviously, like the big dogs like Drake and maybe fucking Travis Scott and people like that, strictly SoundCloud here. It just shows the power X had. He's still being talked about 4 years later after passing away. It's also crazy to think about Juice WRLD coming in the picture around March 2018. 3 months later, X passes away. Juice WRLD kind of replaced X in a way because he was that big dog popping with the energy and the charisma that both X and Uzi had. I can compare all of them, not their music again, but it's mainly like just their image and their energy they had were just all very organic, real. I don't know how to describe it. I can't really think of any artists in the last year or two who I could compare the energy to that those three artists have that are blowing up or coming up in the last year or two. That's why I feel like that era of the SoundCloud kids that blew up is kind of irreplaceable. Yeah, there's another generation of SoundCloud kids coming up, but none of them really have hits yet where like streaming like insane. Besides Yeet, I mean, Yeet's like has really high streams, but he doesn't have a hit like X or Juice WRLD or Uzi had. Yeet just has a bunch of songs that stream really well. He doesn't have that Billboard hit yet. I don't know. It's hard to compare artists, especially ones that passed away, because I mean, when X died, I believe he had like 7 million followers on Instagram, but then like a month after dying, he had 14 million. His followers like doubled. So it's like hard to really gauge what his success would be like if he was still alive. Same with Juice WRLD, same with Lil Peep. I don't know. It's an interesting conversation. Comment down below what you think. I'm on Twitter and Instagram. Subscribe to the channel. Peace out.